players were back on board with the circuit here at Pyra. Here's the race leaders. Oh, there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers. And through the smoke we come. What a crash!
Hello and welcome to Retro Motorsport. This week it's a very full-on show. We've got drags, powerboats, BMWs and more. First up, let's go drag racing. A short blast down the drag strip in 2005, it's the Central Region Nationals at Masterton.
While the rest of New Zealand languished in its first rain for a number of weeks, the Wairarapa district sweltered in scorching temperatures which exceeded 35 degrees over the Waitangi weekend. Conditions weren't exactly ideal to lure large numbers out of Wellington, yet an estimated 5,000 spectators braved the sweltering condition to witness the best racing this season at the Masterton Motorplex. With backing from K&N Performance Filters, the third round of New Zealand's Drag Racing National Championships was well attended, with 135 entries chasing points and prize money. A brand new Portatree timing system breathed new life into Masterton's organisation and allowed national records to be claimed in the southern North Island for the very first time. Martin Peck and his nitrous-assisted drag bike picked up the track's first national record with an 8.049 at 163.04 miles an hour, backed up by a 7.95 at 163.04 miles an hour in AA drag bike class. Peck's 795 was the first time a Japanese hybrid had dipped into the sevens in New Zealand history. Top alcohol was low in numbers due to recent breakages at the AC Delco Northern Nationals. Final pitted Graham Blomont in his lightly dosed nitro-fueled top alcohol dragster against the altered of Dave Drew.
It's a rear engine dragster, obviously, 525 cubic inch, on methanol, 2-speed power glide, highly modified transmission, highly manufactured differential. We get down, it's sort of, I think the brothers run a 7.3, 178 mile an hour.
We want to get ahead and put a bit more money into it, and it's very hard to race and save money and put into it as well. So we decided this year to go to the Nationals and have one meeting before the Nationals, make sure we haven't got any bugs and have an easy season so we can put some money back into it for next season.
It was Dave Drew's car which drove away with the win. An off-pace 8.74 at 265 kilometres an hour won it over Blumont's trailing but faster 808 at 265. Top Door Slammer once again provided a valuable entertainment package for the eager North Island fans. 6 entries, all very close in the National Series point score, went out in the first round of qualifying in an effort to chase the additional top qualifiers' points. By the end of the first session, Chris Tynan had lost his bottom blower pulley, which upon inspection then escalated into further block damage. Mark Holland was the next to drop out after he smashed holes in both sides of his Chrysler's brand new block. The resulting souvenir debris collection was enough to hand a piece to almost every spectator at the facility. The field, depleted to 4 runners, still put on a show fans had paid to see at the K&N backed event. Mark Thomas and Dave Green were just points apart in the series, so it was imperative that they both made a good showing to stay in the chase with just one meeting left.
I'm sponsored by PPG, who are a great paint company, and my friend and sponsor Dean Richards put the wheels in motion straight away after the accident, and we had the car back within a week. It's in a primer coat, but it's all ready for a new paint job, which will probably debut at the Nationals.
Basically, we just need to try and get some more power on it, and we're trying to get a handle on a baseline for the clutch. We had a lot of tyre shaking problems at last meeting with too much clutch in it. So we're sneaking up on it. We're coming back from the other end, if you like. We're slipping the clutch more than what we need to at the moment.
It was Thomas and his repaired PPG Redline Holden who came out on top with a pedalled 7.57 seconds in the final. Green and his Radio Harakiri Corvette left the line hard but moved out of the groove and got off the throttle to trail through the traps well off the mid 7 second pace he had shown earlier in the day. The other two contenders certainly put on a spectacle for the crowd. Wakatani's Tom Richardson once again laid down the biggest smokescreens in this K&N event. His 100-metre burnouts are now the talk of the pits, and the times are also beginning to drop for his unsponsored 57 Chevy. Richardson's foe was the outrageous Chevy Beretta of Graham Alexander, the epitome of evil. This car has huge amounts of horsepower and an extremely short wheelbase. No matter what happens when Alexander comes to the line, it's always spectacular. Their pairing ended with a win to Richardson, with an 8.50 beating the Berettas quicker but losing 8.12. Here's some results from the K&N Performance Filters Central Nationals in the Masterton Autoplex. In top alcohol, Dave Brew from Wellington got his altered through to the line with an 8.74 second pass at 164.84 miles an hour, beating Graham Blumant from Palmerston North with his faster 808 at 164.85 miles per hour. Top door slammer, it was Mark Thomas taking the win with a 757 at 187.87 miles an hour over fellow Wellingtonian Dave Green at a 14.03 at 60.40 miles an hour. In the Superstock, well, it was Auckland Scott Campbell getting up ahead of Tony Bennis, 8.89 to an 8.97, and in the Pro Import, it was Stu Lawton from Paraparaumu with a 10.07 at 134.73 miles an hour over Zaheb Rarek of Auckland with a 9.50 at 152.03 miles an hour. Top Street was another close one, but Scott Milne came out ahead with his Mustang with a 9.21 second run at 149.01 miles an hour over Pukekohe stalwart Gary Bogart's Ford Falcon, 10.14 at 136.36 miles an hour. Looking ahead to the New Zealand Nationals at Champion Dragway in just a few weeks, Chris Johnson looks to be coasting to a top alcohol championship title. But all eyes will be on the door slammers. It all started between Mark Thomas and David Green at Ruapuna in the first round of our televised series, with a final that was almost too close for the timing gear to call. With only 5 points separating them, it will now come down to the last meeting at Merry. Such an impressive lineup of top door slammers expected at the Nationals, and if the Central Nationals is anything to go by, it won't be an easy task for either the Holden or the Corvette to take out the top title of top door slammer. It all makes for a very close finish in this class. A big crowd is expected, so get your seats early March 5th and 6th at Champion Dragway.
From drag racing in Masterton, it's time now to get out on the water in Auckland. The year is 2008, and it's the New Zealand Offshore Powerboat Championships.
The Auckland City Council Offshore 100 was not only the 8th and final round of the Cougar Marine NX Metals New Zealand Offshore Powerboat Association Series, but it was a celebration of powerboating in the Auckland area. We had Thundercats, we had a huge crowd, and we had a huge field, all expecting something special nestled under the Auckland Harbour Bridge. With the titles decided in the main classes, there was pride on the line. Looking for some of that pride was Wayne Carson, now a regular with Cure Kids.
It's certainly been one of those seasons that we'll remember for some time, I guess. It's been a bit of a change for me to jump into another boat without being there with Richard, but so far the season's gone well. Last race today, so I'm looking forward to it. It's a great piece of machinery. The boat's very, very good, and Tony's come a long way in terms of learning how to drive it. Big step for him to come up to this class out of the Honda boats, and he's doing exceptionally well. I think it'll be quite a fast one today. I'm actually quite surprised with this boat as far as it's good all round. We've had those couple of rough races, very happy with how it went. In fact, exceptionally happy with that. But it's also very fast, so it's unusual to get that mix in one boat.
A contest yet to be decided was the overall in the 60-mile class. Marine Works' Mike Cameron was in it, so too was Greg Brink and Connick Minolta, but the points leader was Mark Diggleman.
It's down to this race, really. We're in front at the moment, but to come in behind another boat, we've lost it all, so the pressure's on today big time. Last season the boat was a lot lighter. This is 250 kgs heavier. It's not much faster, but it seems to handle the rough a little bit better. And we've had a good run reliability, so touch wood, we'll last out the day.
Last year was great for us. We won convincingly here, and now with a new boat we're hoping to do the same. It's closer than what we thought it would be, and of course we've been fairly consistent. We probably haven't had the outright speed that we'd hoped for, but we're still developing the boat. So hopefully the other guys have strike trouble and we come out with it. But there's three of us I think potentially that can win. But I think it'll take the other two to break down for us to get it. But we'll be giving it our best, as always.
A bit nervous today. Jitters, I suppose, last race and everything, but looking forward to it. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of concentration, and just don't know how to explain it. You've just got to keep your eyes open for those gnarly waves and all sorts of things.
So the stage was set. Auckland had turned on a picture-perfect day, and the water, whilst not flat, certainly wasn't the rough conditions we'd seen in the previous two editions of this race. So all was ready for the start, and it was a little bit different this year because the direction had been changed. It was a clockwise direction. They start from down toward Cowrie Point and head up towards Westhaven, turn up by the wharf and then under the harbour bridge down past Watchman's Island for 15 times for the 100-mile race, and it's a fantastic start on the outside for Grant Smith and Dave Aldridge and Addictive by the look of it. Sleepyhead there in the centre, and down to the bottom of your picture there, that looks like it might be Pro Floors. Not too good a start for Cure Kids, just drifting back a little bit, and so too Family Boats. So Sleepyhead making the early running. There is Pro Floors. Well, it was an accomplishment for Wayne Velder and Ross Christensen just to get out to the water, because they couldn't manage to do that last year when Wayne and Grant flipped the boat heading to the start of the event. No dramas like that this time round, though. This is the battle in Superboat Light, and it's the family battle. It's Grant Smith and his daughter, Kelly Smith. We're on board here with Chris Hanley in Fairview Windows and Doors. Once again, no Warren Lewis, his illness keeping him away from this round. So it is Scott Lewis and Chris Hanley. Hanley certainly an able substitute, though. Been there and done that, got the t-shirt, and look how close the racing is in this 100-mile race. And it's Pro Floors that's got ahead of Sleepyhead now as they head down towards the bottom mark. You can see still a fair bit of air there for Peter Turner and Craig Archer. You're on board here with PT and Craig Archer. Peter Turner going for championship number 7. Started winning them back in 1992. And that was with Peter Muddy McGrath. It was the drive to 5 that got Peter Turner back into the sport, and he took with him Craig Archer. They weren't the first combination to win 5. That honour fell to Richard Shawes and Wayne Carson, but then they came back and won 6 and 7, and can they make it 8 here today? Well, they can, but at the moment they've got a real battle on their hands as Pro Floors leads them down. Of course, this is the old Sleepyhead under the Auckland Harbour Bridge. They'll do it, and they'll do it 15 times. Here now we go back to the start of the 60-mile race, and all the interest in this is in the overall for the 60 miles and, of course, in the Formula Hondas. Formula Hondas just far too close to call at the moment. Great start there for Spirit of Cheyenne, Chris Neal. Mark Diggleman, though, has got away, and he is the points leader in the 60-mile race, and it's good conditions for him. Tony Beetham follows him in Top Line Builders. Then it's the Konica Minolta, that's Greg Brink, and Marine Works, Mike Cameron right there as well. So all these guys in contention for the 60-mile class championship overall. And pretty near all of them are individual class champions. Here are the Formula Hondas. Now, there's 2 boats to watch for. There's one just on the bottom of your screen, and that is Cougar Marine. We're on board here with Auckland District Collections, H16. And you can see that you've got to get a good start in Formula Honda as they run towards, well, it's arguably now probably not New Zealand's best known landmark, because maybe that's honours fallen to the Sky Tower. We'll see plenty of shots of that here at the Auckland City Council Offshore 100 as well. Here is Top Line Builders. This is Tony Beetham. This is the Occy Manifeld designed boat that Mark Diggleman has a big hand in now. Right in behind them, Marine Works. That is Mike Cameron. And there is Mark Diggleman and Craig Parsons, and they would be leading. And have a look at this for the first turn action here in the 100-mile race. They are neck and neck. Sleepyhead just caught out a little bit, goes right to the outside. You're back on board here with Fairview Windows and Doors. You're watching Throttle Man, and that is Chris Hanley. You can See him looking left and right, and why wouldn't he be looking left and right? Because look at this, 4 abreast, Sleepyhead on the inside, then it's Pro Floors. Kua Kids have got a good drive coming out of that turn as they drag race back up the harbour. Fairview in there as well, so 4 of the best of the top runners of all the championship contenders battling it out bow to bow. Sleepyhead, well, they've wrapped it up just by starting this event. They have had a fantastic season. Started off on a winning note, and they'd love to end on a winning note as well, but these 2 boats on your screen would love to argue about that fact. Kua Kids, Tony Coleman and Wayne Carson. Fairview Windows and Doors in there as well, Scott Lewis and Chris Hanley, and this is what's happening in the 60-mile race. Forget about the individual classes. For 60-mile honours, this is the battle for 3rd place at the moment. On the inside in the bat boat, that's Tony Beetham. Then you've got Marine Works, and that's Mike Cameron, and this is the man in 2nd place, and this is Greg Brink and Eldon Archer in their new boat. Of course, they moved up from Formula Honda. They're all chasing Mark Diggleman and Craig Parsons, and you've got to think the conditions on the water are going to suit the Finance Point boat a little bit more. We saw that at the Maraetai round way back when it was flat calm, and Diggleman and Parsons just ran away and hid from the rest of the field. Well, are they going to do that here? This is the battle in Superboat Lights. Ray Glass versus Addictive. Grant Smith chasing his door there on board here with Kelly at the wheel of Ray Glass. And they will wrap up the Superboat Light title to go back-to-back. Did it last year as rookies, did Kelly Smith and Travis Thompson, you hear? Well, you can see there Kelly talking to Travis. Travis on the throttles, Kelly on the wheel. This is Doosan Construction. New boat for this combination this year, back to the Hondas, and this is where all the racing is at the moment, and Building Solutions have got the nose in front. Now the equation works like this: if Building Solutions beat Cougar Marine, they win the title. The other way round, of course, Cougar Marine beats Building Solutions, Cougar Marine wins the title. It's as simple as that. At the moment, the fly in the ointment could well be Light Industries. Have a look at it from the air. There is absolutely nothing in it. There is Light Industries, the yellow boat, and that's Mike Urquhart, and he's got his wife alongside now. Meantime, we go back to this enthralling battle at the front of the field. Kua Kids, the brand new skater from the United States. Tony Coleman is the owner of this boat. Right in behind him, it is Sleepyhead, and Pro Floors is right there as well. So 3 of them still arguing over the same piece of water. And Fairview Windows and Doors coming up on the outside. So there is absolutely nothing in this. And here comes Fairview Windows and Doors, Scott Lewis and Chris Hanley trying to drive down the inside as they hit down to the bottom mark just off Cowrie Point. And I think they might have the nose in front, and Peter Turner and Craig Archer are pretty interested in that. You see Craig just looking over. They don't have to do too much. I'm sure pride would be at stake here. They'd love to win the 8th and final round of the Cougar Marine NX Metals Championship, but they've already wrapped up the title, so they don't have to race these other boats. But I think you'd probably get an argument from Peter Turner about that, and he'd love to race these other boats. That's what we're seeing at the moment. Fairview Windows and Doors in the front. Plenty more to come from the Waitemata Harbour as we go under the harbour bridge on board with Chris Hanley in Fairview Windows and Doors. Well, this is still the battle for 3rd place in the 60-mile race. On the inside, it's Scarab. That's Tony and Max Carson. Tony already claiming 2 titles in the offshore world with his brother Wayne. Alongside of them, it's Jeff Week, an exception to the rules. Then it is Marine Works. That's Mike Cameron. And on the far outside of the picture, that is the fountain of Chris Aussie Neal, the Spirit of Cheyenne. So they're locked in a battle. They're trying to keep this man in sight, though. This is Finance Point, and this is Mark Diggleman. He's already won the Super 60 class, on his way to maybe a title in the 60-mile class. Kelly Smith and Travis Thompson, well, they've got the nose in front now of Grant Smith and Dave Aldridge, so they are going to have the front for a little while longer. And as I said before, they've already wrapped up the Superboat Light title for the 2nd year in succession. And Kelly and Travis both stepping up from Formula Hondas a couple of seasons ago now, and what a combination they are. And what a combination these guys are too. Sam Phillimore and Kerry Gleeson, brand new to the sport at this level. Well, this man isn't brand new to it. He's a past national champion. This is Grant Smith along with Dave Aldridge. And they're currently sitting in 2nd place in Superboat Lights. And you can see just how close it is as they head back up towards that amazing Auckland skyline. Meantime, we go up to the front of the field here. Here is Fairview Windows and Doors, and these shots coming to you from one of the Cougar Marine rigid inflatable boats. There's 2 of them out on the course. One, of course, the first intervention safety boat carrying on-water paramedics. The other one, our media boat. And thank you to Grant Smith and Cougar Marine for that. They do a fantastic job. They also use them on the start boats as well. Purpose-built for the offshore season. Back on board here with Fairview Windows and Doors. You're watching Chris Hanley, an able replacement for the ill Warren Lewis, and our thoughts go to Warren and his family. That is Sleepyhead just up ahead of them, and there's Cure Kids, so they're the meat and the sandwich at the moment.
Where's the wrong lane side?
Okay. Come left a little. Oh, no, you're right.
Or maybe just a little mistake there from Fairview as they go around the mark at the top end of the course. Sky Tower in the background as they head, which is virtually a drag race back under the Harbour Bridge, past Watchman's Island and back to Cowrie Point. They do that 15 times, and it's Cure Kids in the front now. So they've been swapping the lead. It looks like a Mini 7 race out there. It is so close. And here comes Sleepyhead, Peter Turner and Craig Archer. So you're back on board here with H16. This is Auckland District Collection. Simon Freeman and Sean Bryant having their first full season in Formula Hondas, just making the top mark now and heading back down towards the thousands upon thousands of spectators that have lined all the vantage points down by Westhaven. There's Tank Farm off to the left. So they're currently sitting just inside the top 10. This man is sitting at the top of affairs, though. This is Mike Urquhart and his wife Debbie in Light Industries. Well, they've saved their best performance to last because they've got a commanding lead at the moment. Honda Marine here, Rob Glenn and Carl Thompson sitting in 5th place. Miss Electripar, Mark and Bryce Helms just ahead of them. But all the interest is in just 2 boats in Honda Marine because they are going to decide the title. And there is one of them, and that's Building Solutions, and they're currently sitting in 2nd place. And that means Cougar Marine is behind them. Now, if we finish the race at this stage, that is how the title would go. Building Solutions would take the title, but there's still plenty more action to come on and above the water here on the Waitemata Harbour. And look at this, Mike Cameron and Marine Works and Scarab bow to bow. They're all trying to keep this man in sight. This is Mark Diggleman and Craig Parsons in the Occy Manifeld Design Finance Point. And look at the lead he's got as we go back on board here with Kelly Smith. And always the radio chatter between Kelly and her throttle man, Travis Thompson. Well, a lot of the experts told us that the combination would take 2 or 3 seasons to gel. Well, these guys have gelled right from the get-go. And so have these two, Kerry Gleeson and Sam Fillmore in Doosan. But this is the bottom mark of the course. As we watch this enthralling superboat light battle, ray glass and addictive racing, and there's absolutely nothing in it. And it's lead and turnabout because at one stage it was ray glass, but now it's addictive just with the nose in front. Both of them skater hulls, both powered by twin outboard racing Mercuries. So it is very even. Oh, and talk about even, it's even here at the top of the field as well. Sleepyhead on the outside, just getting a bit of lift there. Cure Kids sits in 2nd place now. Around the mark they come, heading back down towards the Auckland Harbour Bridge. 2 races in 1 here for the 8th and final round of the Cougar Marine NX Metals New Zealand Offshore Powerboat Series as we go back on board here with a very concentrated Peter Turner. Got a good grip of the wheel. Craig Archer on the throttles, just watching, keeping an eye on what's happening beside him and behind him. Not much chatter going on at the moment, so Pete Turner, all concentration. Well, he's got to be all concentration because not too far behind him is this boat, and this is Wayne Velder and Ross Christensen in Pro Floors. Wayne, of course, losing the services of his brother at the beginning of the season when Grant went to the aid of Tony Coleman. Well, there's been a change in the 60-mile race as well because Cheyenne, Spirit of Cheyenne, Aussie Neil's just starting to drop back a little bit here, so Scarab is still in it. Exception to the rules, just got the nose in front, and then it's Marine Works. So these battling in the classic class as well, but they're still battling for 3rd place. Well, this is another classic boat. This is Midnight Express and renowned engine builder Tony Marsh at the helm, along with Ian McDonald. And with word we're getting from race radio is that they've gone a little bit too fast. The classic boats are governed to 80 miles an hour. They go over that and it's all done with GPS plotting. They are disqualified. Boat number 88, the Stealth Powerboats, sponsored Tim Fellows in the Sport 60 class. And here's another one. This is John Purchase in Eliminator. It's one of the oldest boats in the field. Well, this battle is going to go right down to the wire, you get the feeling, because it is the battle of the families. It is the daughter in Rayglass, that's Kelly Smith. It is Grant Smith in Addictive. We're back on board here with Kelly. Well, she must have a sore throat by the time she's finished the 1 hour race, because she's constantly talking to Travis Thompson. Travis Thompson on the throttles. Dave Aldridge and Grant Smith side by side in Addictive now. And as they come into the turn, you see Addictive then just turning a little bit tighter. They're going to get a better drive out of that mark and they'll come up in the front. They do. Here's Family Boats. Great to have Bob Smith and Mark Taitini back. They broke a gearbox in the Whitianga round. They didn't come to Napier, but they're here at the final. And they'll have mixed memories from the final last year, because they were one of the mini boats that ended up upside down on the water. Back to this enthralling race in Superboat Light, and it's Addictive now on the inside track as they head back up towards the Auckland Harbour Bridge again. Rayglass sits in second place. Remember, Kelly and Travis Thompson have already wrapped up the Superboat Light title, and it's been a fantastic performance from them. I think only one DNF over the whole 8 rounds, and unfortunately the same can't be said for Grant and Dave in Addictive. They've been plagued with engine problems all season long. Great shots from a helicopter, both under and over the Auckland Harbour Bridge. Auckland turning on a picture-perfect day for the 8th and final round of the NX Medals Cougar Marine New Zealand Offshore Powerboat Series. This is Mike and Debbie Urquhart, and they are leading. And now there's been a change in second place, because it's now Matty Hopkins and Mikey Smith in second place and Building Solutions in third. Now, once again, the scenario is the same. If we stop the race now, it would be Cougar Marine's title. Here is Tony Beetham and Top Line Builders, another Occy Manifeld boat, and they would be sitting in third out right now in the 60-mile race. This is Outlaw, this is Derek Walden and Tracy Waldon. And this is a boat that had the collision with Mike Perro Mortgages at the previous round in Napier. Exception to the rules, Jeff Wheat just shadowing Greg Brink and Eldon Archer in Conica Minolta. But this guy has got the 60-mile race on a string now. Mark Diggleman and Craig Parsons. It was one of the tighter contests, and it looks like it will fall to Diggleman. We're back on board here with Peter Turner and Craig Archer. You can see just how hard these guys work. They're taking a bit of a beating, and they're really working on the wheel. In the case of Peter Turner, Cure Kids just flashes by. Fairview Windows and Doors back into third place now. So the race finally has settled down a little at the top end of the field. You're on board here with Fairview Windows and Doors. On our split screen, you see Chris Hanley working the throttles. Scott Lewis doing the driving. And I guess a sad occasion for the Fairview team, because it'll be the last time we see that boat. They've already ordered a new skater hull. But with the illness to Warren Lewis, maybe the future of the team is a little bit up in the air. Fingers crossed though, and once again, the best of wishes to Warren and the team. Here is the action in Formula Honda. Mike Urquhart still in the front, Cougar Marine in second place, Building Solutions in third. Well, this is the 8th and final round of the series. It's time to say a few thank yous. Thank you to the onboard team, or the onshore team if you like. John McDonald, Officer of the Day, and also the girls in the caravan that have helped us out so much, and that's Joe, Karen and also Denise. As we zoom on board here with Kelly Smith once again. Now, has she got ahead of her father? No, she hasn't. It's Addictive just up ahead of them. Rayglass in second place, and third in Superboat Light it would be Doosan, Sam Fillmore and Carrie Gleeson. Sam doing the driving, Carrie on the throttles. There they are now. Brilliantly turned out team, brilliantly turned out boat, and what a season they've had debuting in the Superboat Light class. Another combination that's come from Formula Honda. So Formula Honda working as a proving ground. It's getting a little bit closer now at the top end of Superboat Light, because Kelly Smith is starting to run her father down here, and we're getting into the business end of this race. Sleepyhead has asserted its dominance as well. Well, they started with a win, did Peter Turner and Craig Archer, and it looks like they're going to finish with a win as well. And as I said before, what a season they've had. They really have driven the boat hard, and it hasn't let them down. They've either won or finished second. Mark Diggleman's going to win the 60-mile class as he crosses the start-finish line, and Sleepyhead will put the icing on the cake and take yet another title. This will make it 7 for Peter Turner. Started winning them back in the early 90s and has continued with Craig Archer, and it's been a dominant performance this year. All the other boats have had to look to their laurels to try and keep the flying Sleepyhead in sight. Well, Family Boats in a bit of bother there as we go back to second place in the Superboat class, and that is Cure Kids. Best of the Superboat lights. What about this? Kelly Smith and Travis Thompson have pipped Grant Smith and Dave Aldridge on the last lap, so they go through and win. Formula Honda honours are going to fall to Mike and Debbie Urquhart. Mike, no stranger to winning. He was the champion along with Chris Bartlett 2 seasons ago. This is how it happened in the final round. In the Superboats, it was Sleepyhead from Cure Kids, Fairview Windows and Doors third, and in fourth place it was Pro Floors. In the Superboat lights, Ray Glass takes the title and the win in the final round from Addictive. Doosan is third and Family Boats is fourth. In the all-important 60-mile race, Mark Diggleman takes it in Finance Point from Marine Works and Top Line Builders. Well, what do you say about the overall champion, Peter Turner? He's done it again. He's won the title in the Superboats. And the Superboat lights, well, they've done it again as well. Kelly Smith and Travis Thompson are the champions in the 60-mile class, and also in the Super 60s, it's Mark Diggleman and Craig Parsons. In the Sports 60s, Greg Brink. In the Sports 60 Restricted, it is Shane Lockhart. And in the Classics, Mike Cameron. Formula Hondas, it's Cougar Marine. We'll have the full story for you next week.
We're staying in 2008 and we're travelling down to Taupo. It's the Tasman Revival meeting and the door handle to door handle racing. That is the BMW E30 class.
This is round 4 of the Radio Sport BMW E30 series coming to you from Taupo. It is round 2 of the Tasman Revival series. Big crowd in to watch the Formula 5000s, but they'll get a lot of enjoyment out of these cars, especially because there's over 30 of them will face the starter for race number 2. One class of racing here, but 2 different engines, a 6-cylinder and a 4-cylinder. 320s are the 6 cylinders, the 318s are the 4s. Away we go, and on the outside it is car number 96, Todd Pelham, looking for the front running as they head into turn 1. Mark Babb comes up alongside him, and I think Babb's got track position as they work their way around the left-hander. They're going to argue about it. They go door handle to door handle. And there, as well as Simons and also Ashley Blewett, Mel Clark there in the orange car, the Bygone Autos car, just making up a couple of spots, but it is Pelham that leads, and it is Pelham that leads the championship. This is round 4 of the E30 series. It's part of the Radio Sport BMW package. And you can see just how hard these guys are on the gas. Babb through in second place. Looks like the Bygone Autos cars moved up to third. That's Mel Clark. Huge field of cars in there. The majority of them are the 320, I should say. This is Gordon Legg on board with the boss here in his 318 BMW. They run on controlled tyres, of course, Toyo tyres, very limited modifications allowed to the mechanicals. They run a suspension package from stocks consisting of King springs and Coney shock absorbers, and that is just about all you can do to them. Todd Pelham is the race leader. Car number 96 runs a driving school out of Pukekohe Park Raceway, so he's done plenty of laps in fast cars. The Ford Performance School out of Pukekohe. Todd Pelham calls that home. Mark Babb sits in second place. Now, Mark Babb has been the driving instructor for the category, but at the moment he's not thinking about that. He's thinking about racing and racing hard. And they've already got away as they come into this new complex, turns 11, 12 and 13. The chicane tightened up for the A1 Grand Prix cars, and it's certainly worked here for all the classes we've seen at Taupo. 1 lap down, and it's a 2-horse race at the front of this one. As we told you before, Mark Babb didn't compete in Pukekohe at round number 3, so he's hurting a little bit in the championship points. Number 86 going through there, just trying to find some racing room, was Andrew Armstrong. Right in behind him it was car number 15, and that was Phil Laird. And Phil Laird is in a 318, so too Armstrong. So races within races. Bebb won race 1. This is race 2, and problems here for Oliver McDermott as he heads off into pit lane. 66 there is Carl Kirk-Bernard, I think it is. Pelham just can't get away from Babb, so once again these two glued to each other like they were in race number 1. 35 there is Hamish Archer. He's in a battle at the moment for 19th and 20th with Rob Boland. Keith Mitchell just up ahead of him. Gordon Legg in that battle as well as we go back to the front of the field now, and Babb just closes the gap up a little as they go through the big sweeper and head out onto the long straight. Well, it's busy in the mid to backpack, and there is number 74, Benjamin Doak. Now, he's in a 318, and really the pack has sorted itself out because it's the 320s at the front, and it's the 318s from about the middle of the field on down. So, natural selection, if you like. It's two 320s battling it out at the front, working their way onto the pit straight now. It is Todd Pelham out of Howick in Auckland. Right in behind him, Mark Babb. And there is absolutely nothing in this. Great action behind there. Mike Ashton leading this freight train of cars through. Oh, somebody just going a little bit wide there. No problems at all, though, for number 86. This is Andrew Armstrong in the 318 BMW. Heading through the complex and out onto the pit straight now. This is the battle at the front of the field, and it hasn't really changed since the flag fell. It's still Pelham from Babb. Now, I can tell you that Todd Pelham leads the championship at the moment. Oh, Nick Gladiatus and all sorts of problems in the 47, and he's going to get it round. Oh, I thought he was going to save it. Didn't happen for him. Have a look at it on the replay. Just got in there just a little bit too hot. Great evasive action there from car number 4 to miss everybody. That was Milan Clinic. We're on board here with Gordon Legg. 318 Beamer. Remember, 2 engine sizes, the 320, the 6-cylinder, and the 318, the 4-cylinder. You can see you're very busy here at Taupo. And number 47 gets going again, but his race has been compromised. This man's race hasn't been, no. This is Todd Pelham. Mark Babb gets a little bit closer. Babb only 4th in the points going into this, round number 4. The championship table looked like this. It was Pelham in front, Michael Mosen out of Hamilton in 2nd place, Andrew Nugent in 3rd, and then it was Babb. Well, at the moment, that may all change after round 4 here at Taupo, because it is Pelham and Babb going at it like there's no tomorrow. Car number 15, Phil Laird, probably leading the 318s at the moment. Babb getting a little bit closer now as they work their way out of the complex and onto the pit straight once again. Back in 3rd place, it's Greg Simons, and he is in contention for the championship as well here. Just got a look there at the number 44 car, and that was Craig Lang and one of the 2 team cars out there. Saw number 50 there, Craig Suster as well. We go back to the front of the field, and it is still Pelham, but now he is really getting the blowtorch on him. This is number 57. This is Rob Boland. He's currently in 20th place, but I think he'd be the 2nd 318 at the moment. Meantime, at the front, and look at the way the attitude of the car changes as Babb tries to dive down the inside, and there's contact, and they spin round. Well, Todd Pelham spins round anyway. Mark Babb will go on. I bet the officials want to have a look at this. The Ford Racing Beamer of Todd Pelham knocked out in turn number 6. Here it is again. Well, you be the judge. Did Babb have racing room? Has Pelham shut him down? Well, you be the judge. Todd Pelham is the victim, though. He'll hold on to 2nd place. Such was their advantage. This is number 50 here. There's Craig Suster. And that is the battle for 14th and 15th place. So Babb will lead it. Pelham will still be in 2nd place. There is Mark Babb. Well, they'll be talking about this long into the night here at Taupo, and I'm sure the officials will want to have a word with both Mr. Babb and also Mr. Pelham. Babb now comfortable out in the front. Great little battle going on here. Ezra Orr and Craig Suster. The battle for 13th and 14th place. So there is an angry Todd Pelham, I'm sure of it. I'm sure he thought he might have had it in the bag, but there's no doubt about it that Babb was putting the pressure on him. But then there was a mistake. Checkered flag comes out, and it is Bab that gets the win so far. Hold all tickets, so folks, there could be more to come. Todd Pelham is second, and then it was Greg Simons in third place. Ashley blew it through in fourth, and then the veteran Mel Clark from Harvey Gray. Well, this is the start of the third and final race for the Radio Sport BMWs, the E30 series, and it's a handicap start. And first away is Oliver McDermott. And they'll go away in speed groups, and, well, you don't have to be a genius to work it out. That'll be the fast boys at the back, and that'll be Mark Babb and Todd Pelham. Now, can they come from the back to the front in 6 laps? You're on board here with Craig Suster, car number 50. Just up ahead of him, it's number 15. That is Phil Laird in the 318. Suster also in a 318. 14 off to the side of him is Paul Olsen. 1 is Mel Clark in the Bygone Autos orange Beamer. Mel's is a 320, as we said before. 2 different engine sizes there. Number 39 is Dave Lawrence. Great pictures from Suster's car. This is mired in the middle of the pack, if you like. Oh, and there's problems there for Lawrence as he dives off the curb and onto the grass here at Taupo. Should get it back again, though. Probably only lost 3 or 4 positions as he regains the tarmac. Here is the race leader heading down past the clubhouse, down past the fastest part of the racetrack here at Taupo, into the big sweeper, and this is Oliver McDermott. And he's maintained that lead through the sweeper, and he'll go down the long front straight now. This is a 320 BMW. Oh, everyone looking for racing room, and some finding it a little bit difficult to find. Number 86 in there, Andrew Armstrong, gets a great look at that as they work their way through the sweeper and out onto the back straight. 30 plus cars in this field, so it's going to be hard for the top boys to get from the back to the front. Ashley blew it there, number 66, right in behind him, Michael Mosen. Now, they were challenging for the front running at round 3 at Pukekohe Park Raceway, but at the moment they've got a fair bit of work to do if they want to get from the back to the very front of the field. Well, we're at the front of the field. Here is number 27, Jensen Simpson, just cuts off the water of the veteran Bruce Miller sitting in behind him. That's the battle of the 318s, heading down onto the pit straight now, and they're currently forging their way towards the front of this field. Remember, it's a handicap race, so they would have started towards the front. And Miller's getting a little bit of attention there from car number 35 as well. So this great little scrap going on here for probably 7th, 8th and 9th. Hamish Archer in it. We're back on board here with Craig Suster in the number 50 car. He's trying to work his way into the top 10 as you ride with him here on this beautifully manicured Taupo Motorsport Park, home of the A1GP. Suster, you can see how even these cars are. It's just so hard to make a passing move. As number 83 is finding out there, Nigel Patterson just up ahead of him at 63, and that's Grant McPhee. Got to do it under braking. That's so hard as well. There's 318, that's Gordon Legg. Just in behind him, it's Mel Clark in the Bygone Autos car. 47 in there as well is Nick Gladiatus. We saw him have problems in the previous race. Managed to get up and get a finish. 86, Andrew Armstrong, moving through as they work their way through the complex and out onto the pit straight once again. Now, the last time we looked, it was still McDermott out on the front. I'm not too sure if that'll be the way it is at the present time. Number 320 wants to argue the spot. That's Mike Watson. That is a 320. There is number 86 again, Andrew Armstrong. Now, he's dropping back through the field. And there's that little battle we were watching before going on around him. Number 37, Paul Cook in there in the orange car. This is a man currently sitting in second place. This is Steve Lawrence. And this is number 86, Andrew Armstrong. Now, I've got a feeling that he might have been in third place. He's just spun out of that. So hard to tell. Oh, and Gordon Legg gets a little bit of problem there. I think Paul Cook might have given him a bit of an assist as they came through that corner. Grant Williams is the new race leader. Second place, well, this is the battle for second. It's McDermott on the outside in the orange car, number 326, and down the inside of him comes number 40, and that is Stephen Lawrence. And Lawrence is going to go round the long way round the big sweeper, and he goes past McDermott like the maybe is a problem for Oliver, so we'll keep an eye on that. There is Mel Clark, car number 1, just outside the top 10 at the moment, so he's got a bit of work to do in the remaining laps of this handicap race. Good battle going on here. Hamish Archer, number 35, just letting Greg Simons go through down the inside, but comes back at him now as they head down the long straight here at Taupo. Talk about racing room. Ken Henderson looking for it as he works his way through the sweeper. Going with him, number 66, and that's Paul Cook. Bruce Miller currently sitting in third place from Whangarei. He's done a good job. He's in a 318, remember, just up ahead of him it should be Stephen Lawrence. Last time we looked, the race leader was Grant Williams, and I think it'll be that way again. This is the third battle group coming across the line now. Just looking for some of the heavy hitters out there. I just got a glimpse before of number 75, and that's Hamilton's Michael Mosen. Mark Babb in there as well, just looking for Todd Pelham. He would be the best of the back markers at the moment, I would think. There is 75 Mosen, looking for racing room as they come down into turn number 1. Going with him is car number 5, and that's Mike Ashton. Paul Cook in there as well, number 66, and just up ahead of that bunch, number 47, that's Gladiatus. We saw him have problems in race number 2. There is Mark Babb. Now, the question we're all asking, where is number 96, and that is Todd Pelham. 69 Simons just in behind Babb, so he's looking for a good spot here as well. As we go back on board here with Craig Suster in car number 50, currently sitting in 11th place. Sitting up there in 9th place at the moment is Ross Wilson in 10th. It is Paul Olsen. So this is a battle to get inside the top 10. It's the last lap here at Taupo for the BMW E30 series, brought to you by Radio Sport. Race leader is Grant Williams. Stephen Lawrence through in second. Then it'll be Bruce Miller. Checkered flag comes out and Grant Williams gets a win here at Taupo, and Stephen Lawrence can't do anything about it. He's close for second. Then it's Miller. Then it was Rob Bellin, and then Nigel Patterson from Jansen Simpson.
It was a pretty good one for me. I think they just got me near the front and I was able to keep away, which was fun. I thought when I saw the last lap board I'd be right, and managed to keep it together. It's all new to me, this thing, but it was all fun, and so I'm looking forward to the next round.
It was pretty tough out there, 6 cars in front of me and 20 seconds for the first guys. So yeah, we were chasing right from the start and watching the guys behind us, but it was a good run. The car got up and going, and had a few problems yesterday, which is perhaps why I was towards the front, but you know, when she started going it felt really, really good, and just had to focus on the next car and the next car.
We ain't finished yet, no siree. Let's go back on the water for the Formula Hondas on Tauranga Harbour in the year 2000.
Welcome to an overcast Tauranga, and welcome to the 5th round of the Cougar Marine NX Metals New Zealand Offshore Powerboat Series. And that means it's the 5th round as well of the Formula Honda racing. And unbelievably, in the last 4 rounds, we've had a different winner every single time. Who's going to win this one? Well, look, it is absolutely too close to call. Conditions should be good for the Hondas. Nice, even chop out on the water here in Tauranga. But this course has proved dramas in the past. Just ask Mark Helms. He ended upside down just from where we're shooting this piece. Fingers crossed he'll end up the right way up this time round, but who's going to win it? You'll have to keep watching to find out. Well, there's no doubt about it that the team on Miss Electropower will have mixed emotions going into round 5 here in Tauranga.
There's a real chance for probably 4 or 5 boats up there, and
to make it 5 different winners.
Yeah, we'd like to make it 5 today, but notoriously Tauranga hasn't been kind to Miss Electropower and her team. I don't know what it is about the Tauranga Harbour. It's you know, it looks pretty tame from the shore, but it's a fast race. Everybody taps themselves right out for Tauranga, and that's where I think the element of you know, the element of something going wrong creeps in. When you're tapped out and you hit a rogue wave or a boat wake, or as we did last season, you know, who knows what can happen.
The only Formula Honda boat to register 2 wins so far was Mikey Smith and Matt Hopkins in Cougar Marine.
In the Honda class, it's awesome. Actually, we're only 4 points ahead of Mike Knight, and there's Mike Urquhart, you know, H8 back to base 6, and Honda Marine, and Mark Helms Electropower's got a lot of experience, so it's always going to be close, and that's what it's all about. It's awesome. But with the Honda boats, because they're so closely compared to each other with the speed-wise, one mistake and you could be back 6 places, and you can't catch back up. So that's really what it's about. Like, we've had dudes spin out in Wellington and Tauranga, and they've come back in 6th place when they were in the top 3 when they did it. So, you know, that's what it is. You can't make any mistakes if you want to be up there.
Just inside the top 10 was Honda Marine, but Carl Thompson and his crewmen were looking for much better here in Tauranga.
We've had some technical difficulties, and no, but the season's been okay for us. I think we're coming about 5th on the table or so. But it's more about the racing, you know. We love it, and it's all competitive racing, and that's what we're here for, is the competition, really. I'm not too sure what the weather's going to bring. It's sort of looking pretty still at the moment, but you know, time will tell, and hopefully we'll have a reasonably rough and good race.
Well, this man-made beach here in Tauranga was the stepping off point, if you like, for round 5 of the Formula Hondas. Darren Wood and Mike Urquhart would be in there. So too would Michael Knight and Shannon Thickpenny. So we're just about set for a start here in round 5 of the Cougar Marine Inex Metals Offshore Powerboat Series, the Formula Honda Series. Very, very close in the points at the top of the table. These guys looking for the first win. This is Miss Electripar. You're riding behind Mark and Bryce Helms. And the green flag is dropped, and there go the classic boats. Remember, it is 2 races in 1 for each of these rounds. It's a 100-mile race for the super boats and superboat lights. For everyone else, it is a 60-mile race. And it looks like a pretty even start for Formula Hondas as they fan out across the flat waters here in Tauranga as they directly head towards the port now. Just off to the left, I think that's Building Solutions, and that is one of the main contenders in Formula Honda. So it's been a good start for Miss Electripar. Mark Helms will have very bitter memories of here last year. Actually flew out of the boat right in front of the major part of the crowd here at Tauranga. There's a man-made beach, and everyone sits up their tents and sits down there and watches the action. Here is Cougar Marine. They're the points leaders at the moment, the only Formula Honda boat that has had 2 wins. Back on board here with Miss Electripar as they've made the turn now and running out towards the harbour inlet. Off to the right, that's Mount Maunganui. Just up ahead of them, I think it's might be a Formula Honda boat, might be one of the classics. Honda Marine in altitude together. Light Industries, another one that, well, they really need another good performance. They had a great performance at Maraetai, scored good points in Wellington as well. They're currently lying 5th in the championship as we go back on board here with Miss Electripar. That's Light Industry just ahead of them, Mike Urquhart and Darren Wood. And they've rounded the top mark, if you like, and now it's pretty near a straight drag race back down towards the big crowd and the port of Tauranga. Mike Urquhart, no stranger to winning. He won the championship 2 seasons ago now with Chris Bartlett. Last year it was Chris and Debbie Bartlett. They've relinquished the front-running position at the moment to Cougar Marine as we go back on board here with Miss Electripar. And you can see for yourself that the gap is starting to close between Miss Electripar and also Light Industries. And look at this contest here. They are neck and neck in the Formula Hondas. On the inside it is Team Altitude. Outside of them it is Honda Marine. And also in this is Building Solutions. And that would be the battle for the minor steps of the podium. So it is oh so close at the moment. Rounding the mark they go. Light Industries would be the leader in Formula Honda at the present time. There is CRD Automotive. And I think you'll find just behind them it'll be Mark and Logan Morrell and a Taupo. There they are in Morrell Motors. And not too far away from them should be Auckland District Collections. Now this is a race within a race, if you like, because this is the battle for the miners. Up in the front, well, it's easily as tight. It's Light Industries and Miss Electripar. Rounding the top mark, this is the one that causes the superboats and the superboat lights all the problems. Mike Perro Mortgages, Grant and Jason Garrity. Now they're trying to chase down Building Solutions, and there they are. This is Michael Knight and Shannon Thickpenny. This is the boat that Tony Coleman used last year. Michael Knight, of course, teamed with his father. He got wet this time last year at Tauranga, but now running as close as you like. And look at this. This is the battle for the lead. And you see Bryce Helms, and we've seen him do this in a lot of the rounds. He has a quick look behind just to see who's coming up. Maybe he wants to cover his line as they head up into this left-hander at the bottom end of the course now, going past the man-made beach. You see the yellow hull there. That's Light Industries. And that is Mike Urquhart and Darren Wood having their best race. And from that shot, you can see just how close it is in Formula Honda. Well, if this was motor racing, you'd say that Electripar's got the racing line there on the inside because they will turn to the left. Going round the outside is Light Industries. Who's it going to be? They turn now, and I think Light Industries has got it. They head right down towards the port. You see Mark Helms just gesturing, probably towards Mike Urquhart, telling him to give us some racing room. And one of the bigger boats goes through as well, just to compound things. Oh, how close do you want to go to the mark? And down the inside comes Miss Electripar, and Mark Helms hits the front, and there's nothing that Darren Urquhart can do about it. Further down through the field, Altitude battling with Mike Perro Mortgages. This is for third and fourth at the moment, I think, but they change so often. There is CRD Automotive. Now they're having one of their best races. They're just behind Grant and Jason Garrity. This looks like it is Auckland City Collections, and they'd probably be inside the top 10 as well at the moment. And this is Simon Freeman and Sean Bryant. But all the action at the front of the field in the Formula Honda as well. We said it was close in the points race. It's equally as close on the water. These guys have got a bit of work to do as they make the turn, as they head down, as we go back to the race leader from our helicopter shot here. These boats top out around about 60 miles an hour. They're identical. They're 19-foot Sonic hulls, and they're powered by the 150 horsepower double overhead cam VTEC Honda. You're on board with the race leader, and he's only hanging on by the skin of his teeth, because not too far away you will find Light Industries, Mike Urquhart and Darren Wood. But this is Mark and Bryce Helms. Forget about last year. These guys are looking good for a win. All his years and years of experience in marine racing and workings, Mark Helms is yet to register a win in Formula Honda. Electripar in the lead. Light Industries not too far behind them. And look at the altitude of the boat. I said it was flat calm here at Tauranga. Well, it is, but when you've got the pressure of this man breathing down your neck, you're going to try a few things, maybe take a slightly different line. And once again, how close do they cut the boys? Down into the bottom end of the course. Electripar in the front, heading out towards the harbour inlet. Here's Cougar Marine. Now they're running fourth, and just behind them is Honda Marine, and that's Carl Thompson. So they're in a bit of a battle to stay inside the top 5. These guys are third at the moment. This is, oh, look at the time walk there from Building Solutions, and Michael Knight just keeps his foot hard up it. Well, Shannon Thickpenny will be having second thoughts about that. Grant Garrity and his son Jason running in 6th place now, but it's as close as you like at the front, and that picture doesn't really tell the story. I can tell you that Light Industries is just behind the wake, so there is nothing in it in Formula Honda. We've had a different winner at just about all the rounds, although Cougar Marine have bucked the trend with 2 wins so far. They won in home water in Wellington. There is Light Industries, so you can measure it in seconds. Mike Urquhart always going good in the flat conditions, and here is Building Solutions starting to chase down Light Industries. Now the 9 entrants still running. This is the Gambler, Kevin Smith and Simon Gardner. They're in last place, but of course there's been a couple of DNFs there, and one DNS did not start, and unfortunately that was back to base 6. Glenn and Chris Powell, we're hearing that they had a fuel problem. Also out Auckland District Collections and Morel Motors. I think the first DNF for the combination of Mark and Logan Morel from Taupo. Nowhere near a DNF is this man, currently sitting in 2nd place. This is Light Industries. Just up ahead of them, it's Miss Electripar, Mark and Bryce Helms. Building Solutions starting to put a little bit of pressure now on Light Industry. The battle for 2nd and 3rd as we zoom in from our helicopter down on Mark Helms. Mark Helms Marine, of course, Mark's own business, helping out with the sponsorship on this boat. Bryce Helms sits in the navigator's seat. Last year, of course, it was Michael Knight that sat beside Mark Helms, so there's a bit of a family battle going on here as well. Michael Knight driving Building Solutions now, so he's in his own boat. Already he had a win in round 2. They are the leaders at the moment here at Tauranga, but are they going to be able to hold on to it? Because just behind them is this battle. Light Industries on the outside, Building Solutions on the inside. Building Solutions have caught Light Industries. The battle for 4th, Honda Marine and Cougar Marine together. Valuable points at stake in Formula Honda, and at the moment it's Carl Thompson ahead of Mikey Smith. And now Light Industries makes a move on the inside, and Mike Urquhart in all sorts of problems, and that's going to allow Building Solutions to go through on the inside, I think. And Honda Marine just squeaking out a little bit of advantage on Cougar Marine. That's the battle for 4th and 5th. Miss Electripar still looking good. So too Grant and Jason Garrity, sitting pretty comfortably in 6th place behind all the battling going on ahead of them. It's all about a championship, it's all about points, it's going as good as you can. Building Solutions starting to break away now from Light Industry, so that puts them into second place. And now it's about bragging rights around the family breakfast table, because Building Solutions, Michael Knight, is starting to chase down his father and his brother, and that, of course, is Miss Electripar. And Light Industries aren't going to give it up without a fight. In fact, I think they've got a bit of a run here on Building Solutions. Electripar still out in front. Look like they're doing it comfortably, but I tell you what, there's a torment happening behind them, and that overall shot shows it. Well, a history-making occasion for Mark Helms. He registers his first win in Formula Honda after 3 years of trying. Michael Knight and Shannon Thickpenny go through in second place, and then it's Mike Urquhart and Darren Wood in third. That's the closest Formula Honda racing I've ever seen.
Yeah, amazing, Phil. For those first 5 laps there was, I don't know, 3 or 4 in it, Bryce, wasn't there?
Yeah, us and Mikey Urquhart for about 3 laps. Went further than a few metres across from each other. So.
Well, let's talk about Mike Urquhart, because I saw the pass down here at that on the mark down there by the port. Mate, you guys were inside him and like so close to that big harbour marker.
Yeah, Phil. I haven't checked our boat for yellow paint yet, but if there's not any there, I'll be very surprised. Yeah, no, it was Formula Honda racing at its closest, at its very, very best. It was a great duel, and that's what it's all about.
You thought we were finished, but wait, there is still more. To wrap up this week, it's back to Pukekohe, it's 2008, and it's the SS 2000s.
It is round 3 for the Motor Oils SS 2000s here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. And to talk about the series, we talk to the class coordinator.
Well, the class is made up of 5 different classes. We've got 1300 right up to 2 litres with turbos. It is all done by weight and CC. Weekend's good actually. We've got a good field. Rick Bone and the little blue coupe. They're really strong competitors. We've got an RX-7, which is right up there. You know, a couple of turbo cars now are coming through, so they're really getting their car sorted out and really putting on a good show.
Second overall in the championship, but leading his class, is the driver of car number 21, Rick Bone.
We've got quite a good grid for this handicap race we've got going on here. A little bit down on power on most of these 2 litre guys because we've got a 1500. Just means you've got to drive harder. Main competitor would be, say, Tony Goldsmith or Matthew McBride. They seem to have a lot of power down the straight, which gives you a lot of speed at this track, and that's sort of what you need.
Matthew McBride leads the RX-7 class in the SS 2000, and he has got the power for Pukekohe.
Well, yesterday we really struggled with some gearbox selection issues. I didn't have first gear to get off the line, so I was pushed out of the pit road in second gear. I had to come through the field. I think I passed about 14 cars, finished 9th, and set the fastest lap. So I'm basically just hoping that I can get all the gears and come through the field. There's plenty of pressure. Points are critical, so I just really need to get a good start and have some good flow through the field. Rick Bone's a good friend of mine, very quick through traffic, and he's got a little bit of a head start on us time-wise. So if I can catch him, we'll hopefully enjoy some good racing.
The 2006-2007 overall champion is Tony Goldsmith, but he's only second in the 2 litre class and 3rd overall.
I'm reasonably confident. We had a big spin yesterday, which just knocked me a wee bit, but we had a few beers last night and got over that, and we should be right today. Rick's the one I've got to get past. Matthew, he's got a gearbox problem, so hopefully it's not going to be too much of a drama off the line, but we'll see how we go. Just play the game as we get into it. We have to win it. I've got to get points. You know, we're so far, well, we're down on the championship right now where we should be, so we need to get our points back up. That's the most important thing.
So this is race 2 for the Motor Oils SS 2000s for the weekend here at Pukekohe Park Raceway, and it is a handicap affair. First away is Brian Hamilton in the Ford Capri. Next to go should be car number 92, and that is the little Nissan Sentra of Shane Morgan. So in and out of the S's heading for Castrol is Brian Hamilton. Away goes car number 11, beg your pardon, car number 13, and this is William Yu. Remember, 4 classes up for decision here, 1600, 2 litre, Honda Challenge and RX-7s. This is number 13, William Yu, making his way into the S's here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. This 2.8 kilometre circuit. You heard the guy say in the interview that it's a horsepower track and you can expect the faster boys to be clipping around here in the, pretty close to the minute mark in some cases, certainly in the likes of Tony Goldsmith and also Rick Bone and a couple of the others. Go very, very fast around here. Next one to go away and smoking up the tyres is Matthew McBride in the RX-7. And alongside of him, it looked like it was Mike Crawford, number 16. Oh, there's some problems here as a couple of the Hondas get together. Oh, nearly 3 or 4 of them. Well, and that is number 72 that's turned around, and that is Brent Thompson. And I think he had a bit of a help in that. There is number 1. This is Tony Goldsmith. You heard me say he's a 2006-2007 champion, but he is back in second place in the 2-litre class and third overall in the championship as we move into here, round number 3. Well, this may see a safety car because it looks to me like Brent Thompson is stricken on the middle of the racetrack. No, just as I say that, he gets the Honda turned round on the grass and will head back on his way, making his way towards the Ford Mountain. So problems in the early going for Thompson. See him just dragging a bit of wreckage from the car as he works his way around the left-hander and up over the Ford Mountain. Looking out there for car number 21, Rick Bone in that quick little Datsun 1200 body. Of course, it's got a 1600cc engine in it. Oh, some more problems here for one of the Sentras by the look of it, just managing to keep it off the Armco. So we go back to the fast boys. There is Goldsmith. Just in front of him, it's Terry O'Brien in the Evo 3 Mitsubishi. And there is number 21, Rick Bone, so he's starting to make his presence felt. 98 having all sorts of problems. That's Dave Garrity in another Mitsubishi Lancer. He's the one that just kept it off the Armco as they came through the S's. Here is the battle of the fast boys. Number 17, Terry O'Brien in the Mitsubishi Evo 3. Number 1, Tony Goldsmith in the Datsun HP 150. And Matthew McBride swallowing up the competition as well because he has been rocketing around here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. Up and over the top of Ford Mountain he comes. A couple of the other runners out there, number 33. And that's Glenn Archer in the Honda Integra. Just got a glimpse here of car number 6, and that's Kevin Hyde. Now, Kevin Hyde's just about driven everything on 4 wheels, from TQ midgets to sprint cars to pretty near stock Skodas in the production class, and now he's in a BMW M3. There he is, the red car there. Scott Smith, we saw him before. There was him in the number 49 Honda Civic. This is number 22. And there's Phil Noblet, and he'd be up into 3rd place at the moment, so that's a good run for him. Once again, Goldsmith can't find a way around Terry O'Brien in the Evo 3. It's O'Brien there in the white car, the number 1 defending champion. Tony Goldsmith right in behind him, but it's a battle of, the horsepower, and it looks to me like the Evo just might have the run. Or just saw a move there from Rick Bone, moving up in toward the front of the field there. And watch 2 for Al Stewart in the Honda Integra R. Just up ahead of Bone at the moment as we go back to the fastest man on the racetrack. In fact, the 2nd fastest at the moment, because I think that O'Brien might just be a little bit quicker. So there is number 16, that's Mike Crawford in another one of the Lancers. His Lancer's running 4-wheel drive, of course, and that's an advantage in the corners. They certainly have got plenty of power. Here is number 21, Rick Bone, and he's currently 2nd overall in the championship, but he is leading the 1600cc class, I beg your pardon. It's a Datsun 1200 body, but it's got a transplanted 1600 engine in it. 49 just going through the shot is Scott Smith. Behind him, number 30, Phil Brown. Then it's 21, Rick Bone. And then have a look out there for 18, Al Stewart. There he is in the camouflage paint job. Just in behind him, Mike Crawford, Terry O'Brien in there as well. And Tony Goldsmith looking for racing room. O'Brien just getting in ahead of him. 14 in the mix as well. And that is Steve Price in the Honda Civic. So they are sorting themselves out as the laps run down here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. It's part of the Historic Racing Club's Tasman Revival Series. Over 320 entries. Many classes, including this one, the Motor Oils SS2000s. There is Bone. Now, has he hit the front? I think he has. Al Stewart back in 2nd place now. Then Phil Noblet, number 22 in the Civic. Then we go back to Phil Brown, number 30, right in behind him. It is Terry O'Brien. Goldsmith is there as well. There is Bone. This is a quick little car. 1600cc powered Datsun 1200. Out along the back straight he goes. This is the Capri of Brian Hamilton. Remember, he was one of the front runners in the handicap situation. It's got a look there at number 92 as well, Shane Morgan in the Nissan Sentra. That's pretty near a standard car. Then in behind him it was number 30, Phil Brown. Behind them 49, and that was Scott Smith in the Honda Civic. There is car number 18, and that's one of the fastest ones here at Pukekohe this weekend, and that's Al Stewart. As they try to round up Brian Hamilton. 78 going through there is John DeVeth in the Toyota Corolla DX. There is Al Stewart, so he's broken from the pack. I just saw Matthew McBride right in behind him. So we've got a new race leader by the look of it, and it is number 22, Phil Noblet, right in behind him. It is the Capri of Brian Hamilton. Then the fast boys come through. Phil Brown is there. There is Rick Bone. There is number 18, Al Stewart. Matthew McBride right in behind him. Then it's number 49, Scott Smith. There is Tony Goldsmith, and he still can't shake the attention of Terry O'Brien, just sitting up ahead of him for the moment. Well, this pack having a bit of trouble getting around the Capri of Brian Hamilton here as they work their way in and out of the S's and out onto the back straight once again. Bone will be cursing his impatience here, trying to get round, goes down the inside this time as Brown goes round the outside of car number 13, William Yu. As we go back to the front of the field, Phil Noblet leads at 78, a lap down, John DeVeth in the Toyota. There is Rick Bone, there is 18, Al Stewart. Well, it always happens in a handicap race, and it happens very quickly. The fast boys get to the front with about 1 or 2 laps to go, and that's what we've seen here. This man, though, in the front as they head toward the Ford Mountain once again, and that is 22, Phil Noblet. Brown is there, about to be taken over the top of Ford Mountain by Rick Bone, so Bone now moves up into 4th place by the look of it. There he is, the black car, make it 3rd place now as he starts to work on Philip Brown. Gets around him now, so he moves up into 2nd. Race leader, though, is still Phil Noblet in this Honda Civic. Car number 22, there's Bone in 2nd place. There is Al Stewart. I expect Al Stewart to pass Brown as they go up the back straight. Behind him, Mike Crawford. Then it's number 17, Terry O'Brien, and then it should be the orange rocket of Tony Goldsmith, and that's the way it is as they head up the back straight again. Well, this is the pass for the lead. On the outside, it's Al Stewart. Trying to get down the inside is Rick Bone, but it looks like Noblet will hold on to 2nd for a little while longer. Or will he? Into the hairpin they come. Stewart in the front now, in the Integra R. And Noblet makes a bit of a mistake, and that's all that Rick Bone needed to get up the inside and move through into 2nd place. Or have I spoken too soon? Stewart, though, heads up towards the Ford Mountain. The lap's running out here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. Race 2 for the Motor Oils SS2000. Checkered flag comes out, and Al Stewart has done it in the Honda Integra. He will win it. Rick Bone will go across the line in 2nd place. Then it will be Phil Noblet holding on for 3rd in the Civic. And in 4th place, it will be Phil Brown in the Toyota Corolla. 5th place will be Mike Crawford. And in 6th, it will be Terry O'Brien in the Mitsubishi Evo. Well, this is the 3rd and final race for the weekend for the SS2000s, brought to you by Motor Oil. And once again, it is the Ford Capri of Brian Hamilton leading them away. William Hugh will be the next to go, number 13 in the Honda Civic. And going with him, number 49, and that's Scott Smith. There's number 22 next away, and that is Phil Noblet. He did a good job in race number 2. Waiting for the quicker boys to get away. And there's none faster around here than Tony Goldsmith, Rick Bone and Al Stewart, and of course number 17 as well, Terry O'Brien. So it's the Hondas out in the front in this little battle at the moment. There is Al Stewart in the Gear X Integra. And there goes Terry O'Brien, and shadowing him is Tony Goldsmith, last man away, fastest here in the qualifying today, and that is Matthew McBride in the RX-7. So this is the battle for the front running. William Hugh in the lead. 49, Smith in 2nd place. Then it is the Surtees trailer car of Phil Noblet through in 3rd. So Hondas 1, 2 and 3. The early going here of race number 3 for the Motor Oils SS2000. This is round 3 of their championship. Race leader continues to be the Ford Capri of Brian Hamilton. As we go back to the fast boys, Mike Crawford is in there, so too Terry O'Brien. Just sneaking up the inside of him in the braking area for the hairpin was Tony Goldsmith, and not really making much of an impression at the moment is Matthew McBride, but you can see maybe that in a couple of laps those gaps will have closed right up. No change at the front of the field. Still William Hugh. A change for 2nd though, and it's now number 33 moving through. And that is Glenn Archer in the Honda Integra R, the Jenny and Home sponsored car. Into the braking area for the hairpin once again, and it's still William Hugh in the front, 49 Scott Smith and 22 Phil Noblet arguing about the space behind them. Then I think it'd be number 98, and that's Dave Gearty in the Lancer. Number 11 going through, Jeff Page in the Toyota Corolla. They've got pretty near every Japanese brand represented here in the SS2000s, and it really is an affordable racing class. Came about with the demise of the Shell Sport Series years and years ago. So we've got a change in the front of the field. Brian Hamilton goes back into second place now. And this would be the little Sentra of Shane Morgan, I beg his pardon, out in the front. Well, we've seen this many times in the handicap situations in the SS2000s. And he'll lead it for quite some time. It's a deceptively quick little car. Oh, looks like the bonnet coming up on the 33 there of Glenn Archer. We'll keep an eye on that. And we'll keep an eye on number 65 as well. And that is Trev Strong in the Honda Civic. There's Gearty just in behind Archer for the moment. There is Rick Bone, so he's started to make his way up into the traffic now. Just ahead of him, it's Phil Brown in the Toyota. This is the race leader, though. In and out of the hairpin he comes, number 92. And this is Shane Morgan in the Nissan Sentra Triple S. And this is pretty near a stock standard Nissan Sentra, as they were all those years ago when it was one of the popular one-make race series cars here in New Zealand Motorsport. Probably got quite an amazing history. Some famous drivers have probably sat behind the steering wheel of Shane Morgan's car. Here is Tony Goldsmith. Now he's got in front of Al Stewart here, and that's a bit of a revelation in itself at Pukekohe Park Raceway. There is Stewart in the Gear X Honda Integra. Battles further down through the field, number 14 there. And that is Steve Price. And he's slowly but surely getting his way to the front. So I would say he would have started around about mid-pack in this handicap race, and he's starting to forge his way up into the front. Just up ahead of him now, it is number 33, and that's Glenn Archer. 16 goes through, and that is Mike Crawford. Rick Bone dives up the inside of Gearty in the Hydrolink Mitsubishi, and he takes his spot. So he is a bit of a man on the mission at the moment. Remember, he is leading the 1600 class, and he is second overall in the overall SS2000 Championship. This is round 3. From here they'll go to the Taupo Motorsport Park for round 4. That's where they kicked it off. They went to Manfield, and now we're at Pukekohe, and it's still Morgan in the front. But look at this battle for second. We'll make it third, fourth and fifth at the moment. Number 49, Scott Smith, is in it. Number 14 is in there as well. And that is Stephen Price. But it is still the Ford Capri holding on for the Blue Oval fans. That is Brian Hamilton. He stays in second place. Shane Morgan's got the racing driver lean as he works his way through the S's and out through Castrol onto the long back straight here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. Third and final race for the Motor Oil SS2000s. Oh, there must be a problem there for Al Stewart, slowing dramatically as he goes across the stripe. So some problems for the Gear X Honda Integra. No problems for this man. He's back in the braking area for the hairpin. Second place is still William Hugh, but I wonder for how much longer, because Noblet starts to nibble away at his lead. Number 22, the Surtees trailer man. Then it's 83, Brian Hamilton. Then it would be 72, I think, back in the fray. And that's Brent Thompson. Right in behind him is Rick Bone, and then they're queuing up to get past 65, Trevor Strong, right in the back of that little bunch there. Here comes Goldsmith. So if Goldsmith's coming, it won't be too long before you see Mike Crawford and also number 17, Terry O'Brien. In fact, I can tell you that Terry O'Brien struck some problems, I think, and he is gone from the leaderboard. That's one thorn out of the side of Tony Goldsmith as he works up around the outside of Trevor Strong through Ginny and Holmes. Well, are they going to catch this guy? We ask that question every time he steals a march at the front of the field. Shane Morgan doing the job at the moment in the Sentra. Look at them queuing up behind him. 33, Archer in the Ginny and Holmes car. Just up ahead of him, it would be number 22, I think, Phil Noblet. We'll check on that for you. In fact, no, it's Noblet still back in third place. They're getting a little bit closer to Morgan now. William Hugh doing a fantastic job in second. Then it's Noblet. Then it's Rick Bone. Noel Henderson in there as well. Car number 54, the Honda Civic. Rick Bone looking for racing room as the race leader comes across the stripe to complete yet another lap of 8 here for the third and final Motor Oil's SS2000 race of the weekend here at Pukekohe. Rick Bone's decided to gather up all the courage and goes round the outside of the Ginny and Home sweeper, and that would put him up into second place, I would think. And now Shane Morgan is going to be a worried man because his mirrors are going to be filled of the Datsun 1200 of Rick Bone. But not for very much longer, because down the inside he comes along the back straight, and we've got a new race leader here in the SS2000 third and final race. And well, have I spoken too soon, because here comes Tony Goldsmith with a rush. He'll move up into second place, I would think, here. Just in behind him at the moment, and in front of him at the moment, I should say, it's number 14, Stephen Price, but that won't last for too much longer, I wouldn't imagine. Goldsmith setting him up as they come up over the top of Ford Mountain, so he goes through into second place now. Bone leads it, Goldsmith is second, then it's 14, Stephen Price. Mike Crawford is in there as well in the Lancer. Last lap now, has Goldsmith got to the front? Yes, he has. Can Rick Bone do anything about it? I don't think so. Into the Jenny and Home sweeper for the last time. Tony Goldsmith, the 2006-2007 champion, back to his winning ways here at Pukekohe. And he's been struggling a bit this weekend by his own high standards, and getting very sideways as Rick Bone, and that's going to cost him a bit of track time. And now he's going to fall into the clutches of Stephen Price, or is he? Price goes past Bone, so there's a change for second and third. Here comes Mike Crawford, he's in fourth place. Then we go back to Noel Anderson. Phil Brown is there in the Toyota as well, but no one's going to head off this man. Number one, for good reason, Tony Goldsmith will get his championship back on track. He is leading, I beg your pardon, he's second in the 2-litre class, and he is only third overall in the overall championship, but he's going to win the third and final race of the day. And Stephen Price is going to put up a fight, but he's going to come up one short, and that's the way it finishes. Tony Goldsmith gets the win. Stephen Price is second, Rick Bone is third, Mike Crawford goes across the line in fourth place, and in fifth it's Al Stewart, in sixth place Noel Anderson.
That's it for this week. See you next week for more Retro Motorsport.
You'd have to say, as we're back on board with the circuit here at Myra. Here's the race leaders. There are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers and through the smoke we come.